I am very excited to have my next guest join us. If you've opened TikTok recently, you've definitely heard his song, Sugar Crash. It is ElyOtto. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
How are you? How are things in Calgary?
It's boiling. I'm dying. Everyone is staying inside right now because it's hot out.
Crazy. Before I even move forward, happy Pride Month as well.
Thank you very much.
I'm in San Francisco. It has long been a bastion, a beacon for the LGBTQIA plus community. I'm very curious, what is it like in Calgary?
I have met a few weirdos who don't like me at all because of my identity. It's very polar, right? Like you have in the inner city just this like vibrant, like thriving community of LGBT people that are just like wonderful and it's very accepting. And then you have like cowboys just around the corner at the bar ready to shout like slurs at you, you know?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
I'm okay with all of it. I mean not the slurs part, but like I've learned to deal with it.
now, did you go to a lot of events, or do you go to a lot of events?
I certainly do. I love going to Pride at Prince's Island Park, which is like in the middle of Calgary. That's where I meet like a lot of my good friends and I have a lot of good memories there. So
And were these events, and were you active in the community since a young age?
I sort of figured out that I was part of the community at like maybe like 10 years old. So I didn't start going to Pride till I was maybe like 12, but I definitely like felt like a big part of the community at that time because like I was like the only gay person I knew. Uh,
Being a young person and basically living your truth and being able to do so comfortably is quite commendable. There's so many people that have struggled with it, and even to this day, as an older adult, they still struggle with it. How did you feel, or what was it like when you approached your parents, and what was that conversation like?
I it was really weird. I never really had like a coming out moment with my parents. I do remember when like I first like joined the community at like the ripe old age of 11. My mom was like, "Hey Elliot, do you have a boyfriend?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" And I'm like, "Yes." um, and then later on, like when I was starting to like experiment with my gender identity, I was like, "Hey mom, can you like buy me a binder from GC2B?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure. Okay, let's get you a binder since you want to look more gender neutral. I'm okay with that." And I was like, "Hey mom, can you like stop calling me by my dead name and start calling me Pi or Elliot?" And she's like, okay, since you want to be more gender neutral, that's fine. Like right on." And then I'm like, "Hey mom, can you buy me a Packer?" And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Mom, I'm trans." And she's like, "What?" I don't know how she didn't realize, but
Wow.
I mean, it always takes adults a while, I find, to sort of figure it out.
Your lyrics that you write in your music are also centered around dysphoria, being queer, and things like that. How do you discern what is to be shared versus processing those feelings on your own?
Well, most of it I process in the shower alone, away from society, but I have like allowed myself to sort of simplify what I'm feeling and sort of inject it into my song lyrics in a way that like a lot of people that aren't going through what I'm going through wouldn't detect. Like just don't want to hate myself from Sugar Crash. That's definitely about like being trans and like wanting to like still be me and be authentic, but I've heard a lot of other trans people say that they wish that they were born as someone else, and that's not me at all. I'm glad that I'm me. I just don't want to hate myself, basically.
And to be able to translate those feelings into music, A, has to be a release. And at the same time, you're also helping a lot of people. What has been kind of the overarching theme of messages from people that you've gotten on social media?
Well, a lot of it is hate, unfortunately, because I'm trans and successful and a little bit weird, I would say. But for every like hate message I get like 5 messages from random kids around the world like, hi, I'm like a closeted like gay or lesbian or trans person, and your music has helped me so much, and like you've inspired me to come out to my parents, etc., etc. And that just feels really good. I wouldn't like step up and volunteer to be a role model to kids, because to be honest, I think I'm not a very good role model, but I'm super glad that I could help like anybody that's also like part of the community and struggling by just like sort of putting myself out there and being like authentic.
From a music point of view and the sonics of the music that you've been exposed to, what you were raised on, and what you created are just so varied. I find it so interesting because, you know, we spoke about your mom earlier and your dad. They were both, or are both, local musicians, right? And they basically perform a lot of roots and folk music and things, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you were kind of raised on. And here you are making this hyper pop music, which is so cutting edge. And you were exposed to electronic music with Skrillex and whatnot. So when you write lyrics, when you write these kinds of songs, where does it start?
I don't know actually if I write songs like my parents at all, because I don't really pay attention when they're writing. I know that they all have like, I know that they have notebooks that are like full of lyrics, and my notes app is full of lyrics. Usually I'll just be like sitting on the train and I'll come up with like a little melody in one genre, like it'll be like an old country song type thing in just my head, like I'm making it up and singing it, and then I'm like, how can I translate this into a hyperpop song? So it's like translating it from a different genre that's in my head onto like my computer, if that makes sense.
Sugar Crash made a huge impression, changed your life. And it actually got to a point where it got the remix treatment. And you have a new version with Kim Petras and Curtis Waters. And congratulations on that. How did that collaboration come about? And what is the type of conversation did you have with Kim Petras where she was able to realize her true gender identity at a young age?
Yeah. I didn't actually know about that until I did like some research on Kim. Like I thought she was cis, so I was like, oh my God, she's trans too. And I got like really pumped up because like fellow community members, I like instantly feel like a connection. I don't remember who reached out to who, but somehow like Curtis like gave us this track that he had added an ending onto, and it was just jaw-droppingly amazing, like so good. And I was like, oh my God, you have to give me the stems for this. We need to like make this like an actual thing. And then like we got Kim Petras to hop on it, and it just sounds amazing, and it got on the local radio, and I'm like super proud of it. And I'm proud of the people that worked with me on it because it sounds good.
Well, congratulations on the recognition that you've gotten so far. This is obviously just the beginning. We can't wait to see what you have coming up. And thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This was fun.